Welcome back to Narrations. Tonight's story is gentle, funny, beautifully animated, and full of Christmas heart. A tale about loneliness, kindness, friendship, and the quiet truth that sometimes the people who seem the coldest are the ones who need love the most. This is The Grinch, 2018, a warm reminder that Christmas belongs to everyone, even those who push it away. Snow blankets the bustling town of Whoville, where Christmas spirit shines brighter than anywhere else on earth. Twinkling lights drape every rooftop, garlands wrap every street lamp, and laughter spills through the air like music. The Whos love Christmas, not just a little, but with their entire souls. They plan for months, decorate for hours, sing until their voices tremble, and fill the town square with joy that feels like sunlight in the middle of winter. Children rush excitedly through sparkling streets, buying treats, playing in snowbanks, dragging freshly cut trees across cobblestone paths toward glowing homes. Carolers rehearse harmonies beneath lanterns shaped like stars. Bakers prepare mountains of festive pastries and frosted cakes glistening like jewels. The countdown to Christmas Day is nearly complete, and anticipation fills the air like the warm breath of a sleeping giant waiting to wake. But not everyone feels the cheer. Far above Whoville, alone in a crooked, icy cave carved into the side of Mount Crumpet, lives the Grinch. Tall, green, furry, and covered in years of painfully self-built isolation, he watches the celebrations below with bitter amusement. His yellow eyes narrow at every burst of laughter, every light, every bell. His heart gives a tight, shrinking pulse of annoyance. Every sound echoes into his cavern like needles pressing against old wounds. His only companion is Max, the loyal little dog who follows him faithfully despite receiving only sarcasm and grumbles in return. Max scurries around carrying household objects, running on treadmills to power machines, and wagging his tail eagerly even when the Grinch pretends not to care. Deep down, Max knows there is warmth beneath the layers of ice. He has seen it in quiet moments, though the Grinch refuses to admit it even to himself. The Grinch steps outside, glaring at the glowing town below. Christmas decorations explode brighter every year, and this year promises to be the biggest celebration in Whoville history. Mayor Mayhew has announced that the town will triple its holiday display: lights, music, feasts, fireworks, everything large enough to shake the mountain. The Grinch growls under his breath, voice dripping with resentment. Christmas. It's practically here. His bitterness is not just annoyance, it is pain disguised as hatred. Long ago, he knew what happiness felt like. Long ago, before loneliness wrapped around him like chains. But the memory is blurry, buried beneath years of running from the world that once rejected him. Down in Whoville, a young girl named Cindy Lou who wakes early, racing through the snow with boundless energy. She is thoughtful, kind, and full of gentle concern for others. Unlike the other who's rushing to decorate houses and stack presents higher than rooftops, Cindy thinks only about her mother, Donna, who works tirelessly to raise 3 children alone. Cindy wants one thing for Christmas: help for her mom. A break. A chance to rest. A moment to feel appreciated. While the town celebrates bigger and louder each day, Cindy sees what truly matters: quiet love, small kindness, time spent together. She decides she will speak to Santa personally. She will ask him face to face. She will catch him on Christmas Eve. She forms a plan, gathering friends to construct a device to trap Santa long enough to ask her heartfelt question. Unaware of her dream, the Grinch descends the mountain into town, traveling through swirling snow. He disguises himself in a winter coat and scarf, weaving through crowds as Whos greet each other with glowing smiles. He grumbles and shoves past them, stealing candy canes from children, knocking over decorations, and quietly plotting his day. But despite his gloomy intentions, kindness finds him anyway. Cindy Lou collides into him while running with a letter for Santa, papers scattering through the air like snowflakes. Instead of yelling, she looks up and smiles sweetly, asking if he is okay. The world pauses for a moment. The Grinch freezes, confused, startled by softness he has not felt in years. He mutters a rough response, and storms away quickly before kindness can crack his defenses. Cindy watches him go, sensing something sad beneath the rough exterior. Max watches too, tail wagging hopefully. The Grinch returns to his cave, where he watches television footage of the town's announcement, the mayor promising the biggest Christmas celebration in Whoville history. Fireworks burst across the screen. Bells ring. Snow falls like glitter. Crowds cheer wildly. The Grinch's face twists into determination, cold and sharp. If they want the biggest Christmas ever, then he will deliver the biggest disaster ever. He will steal Christmas this year, not just decorations, not just presents, but the whole celebration. Every light, every bell, every tree, every last sign of joy. He begins forming a plan, sketching designs on scraps of paper, tinkering with machinery, collecting gadgets and stolen pieces of equipment. He studies sleigh blueprints, researches Santa's route, maps out every street and chimney in Whoville. His cave buzzes with drilling, welding sparks, hammering metal. Meanwhile in Whoville, Cindy Lou and her friends build a contraption to catch Santa, a rope system, trip lines, pulleys, a trap designed with innocent hope. Cindy writes her letter asking Santa to help her mom, believing with all her heart that kindness deserves kindness in return. Night falls. Snow thickens. Christmas Eve grows near, heavy with expectation. The Grinch works late into darkness. Max runs beside him, loyal to the end. The Grinch tests a newly built sleigh, mechanical, towering as tall as a house, equipped with gadgets and engines capable of hauling an impossible amount of stolen Christmas cheer. Max barks at the engine roar, proud yet cautious. The Grinch smirks slightly, the first flicker of pride he has felt in years, a strange and unfamiliar warmth. Tomorrow night, the plan will begin. He will dress as Santa. Max will pull the sleigh, antlers tied to his head. They will descend into Whoville under the blanket of night, unseen beneath falling snow. And Christmas will disappear. The Grinch stands at the edge of Mount Crumpet, wind whipping past him as he looks down at thousands of twinkling lights glowing like stars below. The town hums with music, laughter, and joy. He grips the sleigh tightly, whispering, "If they can't be happy without Christmas, they don't deserve it." Snowflakes drift slowly around him, dancing silently in the night. And deep inside his chest, something stirs. Something he tries to ignore. Something that won't stay quiet much longer. Night falls across Whoville, blanketing the town in quiet silver light as snow drifts gently from the sky. The last carol fades, the final lights flicker into stillness, and doors close softly as families settle into warm beds. Silence descends, deep, peaceful, unaware of what is coming. High atop Mount Crumpet, the Grinch tightens the final straps on his massive sleigh. He adjusts the crooked red Santa coat, pulls a hat low over his eyes, and attaches a pair of makeshift antlers to Max's head. Max sighs, bracing himself, loyal even when he disagrees. The Grinch grips the reins, heart hammering with excitement and bitterness, and with a sharp whistle, the sleigh lunges downward. They plummet through the dark sky, wind whipping against their faces, snow spraying in glittering arcs as the sleigh skids across rooftops in Whoville. The Grinch climbs down chimneys with mechanical arms, sneaking into houses with exaggerated tiptoes, moving like a mischievous shadow. He steals stockings, ornaments, wreaths, fruitcakes, cookies, gifts stacked to the ceiling, stuffing them into the sleigh with ruthless efficiency. Max tries to bark softly to warn him about certain decorations, but the Grinch yanks him along, laser-focused. He zips through houses, each time leaving behind an emptiness that echoes through the icy silence. At one cozy house, Cindy Lou lies awake, waiting near the trap she set, determined to stay up long enough to ask Santa for help for her mom. She hears small noises, believes the real Santa has come, and rushes downstairs, only to find the Grinch in disguise. She freezes, gazing up with wide, trusting eyes. Her voice soft as snowfall, she asks him gently, "Santa? Could you help my mom? She works so hard. She deserves a real Christmas." Something inside the Grinch jolts. This wasn't the selfish list he expected. It wasn't about toys or lights or competition. It was about love. For a moment he stands silent, stunned, disarmed, but fear of tenderness makes him retreat. He forces a fake deep Santa voice, mumbling an excuse about needing to fix the tree before fleeing up the chimney. Cindy watches him disappear into darkness, believing she has been heard. The Grinch wipes tears angrily from his eyes as he loads the last stolen decorations into the sleigh. Max watches him quietly, head low. Finally, with one final heave, he finishes. Every tree, every bundle of lights, every toy, gone. Whoville lies stripped bare, cold and empty beneath the sleeping stars. The sleigh creaks under the impossible weight as it rises back toward Mount Crumpet, climbing the steep snow-dusted cliffs. The Grinch stands tall, waiting for the sound he has dreamed of, the screams, the wails of devastation, the proof that he has finally beaten Christmas. Morning light begins to creep over Whoville. The Whos wake one by one and step outside to discover nothing, no decorations, no gifts, no feast. Their faces crumble in shock and confusion. Children cling to parents, searching for answers. The Grinch leans forward eagerly, his heart pounding, ready to drink in the cries. But instead, they gather in the town square. They hold hands. They hug. And softly at first, then stronger with every voice, they begin to sing, a warm, gorgeous harmony rising into the icy air like sunlight breaking through clouds. Music fills the valley, not with sorrow, but with peace. Not with mourning, but with love. Merry Christmas! They whisper to one another, smiling through tears, because Christmas lies not in things, but in hearts. The Grinch freezes. His eyes widen, breath caught in his throat. The sound rises up the mountain and wraps around him like a blanket he hasn't felt in years. His heart shudders, once, twice, then bursts open, swelling until it aches with something unfamiliar and powerful. Warmth floods his chest, so overwhelming he stumbles to his knees, gasping, laughing, crying all at once. His heart grows, not one size, not two, but three. The sleigh begins to slide, threatening to fall off the cliff, carrying all of Whoville's Christmas with it. The Grinch grabs the reins, digging his heels into the snow, straining with impossible strength. Max leaps beside him, pulling with all his tiny muscles. The sleigh slows, stops, trembles, and finally settles safely. Exhausted, shaking, the Grinch whispers into the cold air. I'm sorry. I was wrong. With Max's help, he turns the sleigh around and rides back into Whoville. The Whos stare in shock as he arrives, their stolen Christmas piled high. The Grinch steps down, shoulders hunched, voice trembling as he steps toward the crowd. I know what I've done. And I'm sorry. I stole your Christmas. I hurt you. I thought, if I couldn't have happiness, no one should. But I was wrong. I see now that Christmas doesn't come from a store. It means so much more. And I've never known anything like what you have here. Hope, love, family. Silence fills the air, still and tender. Then Cindy Lou walks forward, her small hand reaching out. She wraps her arms around the Grinch, hugging him gently and without fear. That single act breaks every wall he ever built around his heart. The Whos step closer. They forgive him. They welcome him. And later that night, the Grinch sits at a long dinner table surrounded by laughter, warmth, and family. For the first time in his life, he doesn't feel alone. Cindy's mother smiles as the Grinch raises a glass to toast. To kindness, and to Christmas. Max curls beside him lovingly. Cindy leans against his arm. And the glow of the room fills the space where loneliness used to live. Because Christmas isn't about perfection. It isn't about decorations, gifts, or parties. It is about choosing love, even when it's hard. It is about letting someone in. And sometimes, the smallest heart can change the world, or the largest can grow enough to hold it all. If you enjoyed this narration, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Narrations, where Christmas magic and heartwarming stories come alive through cinematic storytelling.